Congratulations, we made it into 2021. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But the news cycle never stops, and because it's the new year, we have to talk about the iPhone 13 and the future of iPhone because, well, as long as Apple keeps making iPhones, we'll keep hearing rumors about them. And as soon as the iPhone 12 is released, you'll start hearing rumors about the iPhone 13. So here's something that is interesting by Tech Radar. They're saying that Apple has recently passed two iPhone designs for a durability test. But the interesting thing is these two iPhone designs are foldable. So this comes via a patent filing. So the rumors started there. So they submitted two designs to the US Patent Office to offer themselves some kind of protection if they decide to go that route. So any other design or something, even if it's unusable, Apple usually files for a patent and many other companies. But according to this article that cites United Daily News, these prototypes are iPhone shells that are foldable, and they both passed durability tests, which is very, very exciting, maybe, if Apple adapts it, because the most famous foldable phone, the Galaxy Fold, especially the second edition, the Galaxy Z Fold 2, I haven't played with it myself, but I've seen videos, and I'm sure many of you have as well. It is a very usable smartphone. It basically ticks all the boxes except the most important box, maybe, the price box. It's very expensive to get into people's hand. And if Apple does this, it's not going to be affordable, but it will push many more manufacturers to follow along and use that new design, the foldable. And many already are doing that. It would just push it one step further. But you know what? This got me thinking about other designs that Apple does not take a part in. One example is the 360 hinges, the detachable laptop, the thing that where you detach the screen from the body of the laptop and you make it into a tablet. The Apple hasn't done that, while other manufacturers all have a model that does that, basically. And one thing that is very, very obvious is introducing the touchscreen technology into their laptops. And this might have a reason of if you put a touchscreen on their MacBooks, they become iPads and MacBooks. So who's going to buy MacBooks? I mean, who's going to buy iPads? It's the same reason why you don't see Apple doing these things for the sake of maybe design. I don't know. It's maybe not the Apple thing. So maybe even though they filed a patent for this new design or new potential design, maybe they don't manufacture it at all. Maybe we don't see foldable iPhones, or maybe we see foldable iPhones and maybe foldable iPads as well, maybe foldable laptops. We don't know. This is very interesting. They have filed a patent, so they're interested in it and playing with it. And we'll see what happens with that. But another interesting thing is the real iPhone 13 rumors. iPhone 13, the iPhone of 2021, is gonna have some changes. So here's an article by Tom's Guide, 7 biggest upgrades you expect. So some of these are the obvious ones. So a smaller notch. The cutout in the top of the phone has been the same since iPhone 10. So that's slated to change, at least according to the rumors. Second thing is 120 hertz display, so a faster screen. That was reportedly coming to this iPhone 12, and that did not end up happening, the Pro iPhone 12. That did not end up happening because apparently it ate too much battery, so they are pushing it to iPhone 13, which makes sense, given that another thing that is expected to improve is the batteries. So we talked about this in the Apple Car video. They are expected to discover or use or invent a new way to use batteries more efficiently or to stack them up in an intelligent way inside the device. So maybe that solves that problem and you get the faster screen. Another thing is a camera upgrade across the board. And what's interesting here is this rumor is suggesting that the LiDAR scanner will come to all iPhone 13 models, the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 Pro, while the iPhone 13 has 2 cameras and the iPhone 13 Pro has 3 cameras as expected. Another thing is the upgraded chipset. So Wi-Fi 6E, so faster Wi-Fi, faster processor, and faster everything as you might expect with a new iPhone, new processor. And the final thing is the return of Touch ID. So with 2020, many people could not unlock their phones because they're wearing masks, and wearing a mask basically renders the Face ID technology obsolete, and you basically lose the ability to unlock your phone without using the passcode, the old boring passcode. So now people have pointed towards Apple bringing back the Touch ID because of 2 things: patent filings, as we mentioned, always patent filings of putting that Touch ID under the screen, or putting it in the power button as they have done with the iPad Air. So maybe iPhone 13 brings back Touch ID. I mean, I loved Touch ID since iPhone 5S, the first iPhone that had it. I had that phone and I was surprised by the technology. And when I switched to iPhone 12, I missed it. And I still miss it. And maybe it makes a return with the iPhone 13. So that's the article by Tom's Guide. And TechRadar are coming yet again with another rumor, which is the iPhone 13. Could the iPhone 13 be the portless iPhone, the phone without a connection to anything, just buttons, and it's all enclosed? And this is maybe inevitable. Maybe it will eventually happen. They did not categorize it as a feature. I don't know if it's a feature having a phone lose something. Maybe it is a feature in terms of durability and design changes. Maybe it's not. They go on and call it the perfect smartphone. A portless smartphone is a perfect smartphone. And the only issue I have with it is I'm using the iPhone now to take this video, which is in 4K. It takes ages to get it off the phone into my laptop using a cable. So how long would it take if it's wireless? And that's the only issue I have. Would it just be compatible with Macs, where you can airdrop everything, and it wouldn't be compatible with Windows? And that's the main issue I have with a portless iPhone. And would they charge with us? Would they give us a wireless charger? I don't have a wireless charger, so I don't know. Okay, so that's pretty much the iPhone rumors done, but not really. Mac rumors, there's one more. Mac rumors have put this article out of the 10 top smartphone activations on Christmas Day 2020 in the United States. And I've looked at this and I was interested to see. So the first iPhone, the phone with most activations in Christmas 2020 is the iPhone 11. In my opinion, the iPhone 11 was the first step towards giving everyone a very affordable, more affordable iPhone. Up till that point, we had the iPhone XR, which was made of plastic, and it was the cheaper, obviously. Now they dropped the R model and they called it iPhone 11, and it had all the features that the iPhone 11 Pro had. The same design, same everything, just lacking the LED screen. And to my surprise, because of the further drop when iPhone 12 was released, iPhone 11 became a little bit cheaper. It became the most activated phone on Christmas Day. I guess if you have someone you want to buy a phone, a loved one, you buy them the best looking, cheapest iPhone, which is the iPhone 11. The second was iPhone XR. Third is iPhone 12 Pro Max. Fourth is iPhone 12. Next is iPhone 11. Next is iPhone SE. Next is iPhone 12 Pro. Next is iPhone 8 Plus. Next is iPhone 8. So that's 9 out of the 10, which are iPhones. And the last phone apparently is called LG K30. I've never heard of that phone in my life, but according to this article, it was the 10th most activated device on Christmas Day. And apparently it's I'll put a picture of it here. It's a budget device by LG. Maybe there was some like a big offer for this iPhone, for this phone that got people gifting it in Christmas. But that's interesting for sure. So we talked about the predictions for the iPhone, and there's this article by Android Authority that grabbed my attention that says the predictions of Android smartphones in 2021, and we'll go through some of them. So one is the obvious one, 5G. So 5G for all. Everyone, every phone would turn into 5G. Eventually, even though I have 5G, I currently in Bahrain, I have to pay more to use 5G. So I don't even bother. I don't need the extra speed. But it's a future-proof thing. When everything switches to 5G, 5G is available. Thing number two, more affordable foldable phones, as we talked about the earlier in the video. More foldable means more affordable, and more people will have the foldable phones. So that's that. Another prediction they have is under-display selfie cameras. I've showcased this before. So fully screened phones without the use of a cutout for the camera, the front-facing camera. This is actually real, and phones already exist. So they expect more phones to take over that and get rid of anything else than the screen in the front of the device. So that's exciting. And the rebirth of the compact flagship. So what that means is the smaller phones, the Pixels, the iPhone 12 minis, they are predicting a resurgence, growth back to popularity, but I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think that small smartphones are very appealing, because everyone wants a bigger screen, even though it's heavier. I have bigger screen, bigger battery, better battery life, and you can watch videos and do anything. Bigger is better, I guess, in terms of smartphones. And one last thing they have as a prediction here is that cloud gaming will be the thing. So Google Stadia will take over. Instead of playing the normal apps, you download a game and then, you'd use Google Stadia, which is a very interesting idea, a very interesting service where you can stream a game on your small device. So any smartphone would have that processing going in the cloud and then play it on your phone, especially with single player games. I feel like that's going to be a big success. As we've seen, it might be a more viable option to play a big game like Cyberpunk 2077 on Stadia rather than on a PlayStation 4. So that's Android Authority's prediction for Android phones in 2021. 2021 everything. In the beginning of the year, everyone is trying to predict what is going to happen. And as we've seen with 2020, it's not easy to predict what the hell would happen further along in that year. But it's going to be fun to see by the end of 2021 how many of these actually become true. And one thing that was kind of expected, but maybe not expected, is the rise of Tesla. So we have to talk about Tesla. Tesla is my favorite thing to talk about. So Tesla have made 500,000 electric cars in 2020. Well, actually not quite 500,000, 499,550. So 450 cars short of 500,000, 500,000 cars. And when you're talking about cars, that's a massive number. That's not a little amount. 500,000 cars in a year is a lot, because cars are not something that people buy quite often. And that gives you an idea of the hype between stakeholders and customers alike. They all are into the electric market. And maybe Apple comes in and bites some of that pie and then take it away. For me, I'm very interested in electric vehicles because as my final year project, I'm really looking into how viable it is to drive an electric car in my country, Bahrain, in the future, because everything is heading towards zero emissions and a greener future. So 2021, so this is probably a long video. I don't know how many are still watching by this point, but 2021 is an exciting year. It might be the year where everything slowly settles down to normal. I hope everyone here is safe. I hope you have some targets for 2021 yourself, some predictions for yourself, and I hope you meet as many of them as possible. And we'll see by the end of 2021, maybe we look back at this video and see how many of these things that I've said came true. Have a wonderful week.